morning, grade 2s. Today we are going to learn how to tell the time. Okay, we're going to start at the very beginning. So what is time? Time is the measurement of how long something will take to finish or from start to finish. So for example, if we want to watch a movie, generally a movie is about 1 hour and 40 minutes. So we know that we need to set aside that amount of time in order for us to watch it. We also need time to tell us where we need to be or when something is going to happen. So for example, when you come to school, you know that school starts at 20 to 8. So that time tells you when you need to be at that place. Another way of saying it as well is at school, when you have active ed or break or drama, that gives you a time on the timetable so that you know that every Wednesday at 11 o'clock you have active ed. So it prepares you for when something is going to happen. Right, when we look at time in hours and minutes. It is made up of hours and minutes. And in order to tell time, you have to put the hours and the minutes together. If they're not together, it won't make sense because then the hour will just stay stuck and the minute will stay stuck. So you put them together. Right, we're talking about analog time today, and an analog clock looks like this. Those numbers that are marked on the clock over there, those are the hours, okay, the hours. So you can see, if you look at all the hours over there are how many hours on the clock? There are 12 marked hours on the clock. Now I'm going to show you a clock face again, and now you can see it's just a different color. These little markings that are around the edge of the clock face in purple, those are the minute markings. So remember, I said to you the numbers represent the hours. Now, the way to represent the minutes, instead of having little numbers all the way on the edge over here, it gives you these lines, and these lines tell you minutes. So you can see there's a longer and darker line that points to the 12 and the 1 and the 2 and so on to the edge 12 again. That's just marking 5 minutes. So from 12 to 1 is 5 minutes. From 1 to 2 is 5 minutes. Okay, that is when we are talking the minute hand. So if we had to go right around the clock over here with the minutes and count them, you would actually see that there are 60 marked minutes on the clock. The reason that there are 60 marked minutes on the clock is because there is 60 minutes in 1 hour. Okay, so now let's have a look. I told you that there are 60 minutes on a clock, which makes up 1 hour. Each marking from 12 to 1 on the minute markings means 5 minutes. So 12 to 1, 5 minutes, 1 to 2, 5 minutes. We're talking about the minute marking. So we're going to skip count by 5, and we are going to start at the 12, and nothing's going to happen. We're going to move to the 1. We're going to count in 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So I've gone right around the clock and I've made 60 minutes. So that means 1 hour. So now we're going to look at the hands on the clock. Can you see that there is a hand pointing directly at the 12? This hand is known as the minute hand. And the minute hand is otherwise known as the long hand or the big hand. Then the number that is the line that is pointing to the number 8, that is known as the hour hand. We call this the small hand or the short hand. And the reason we call it big and long, small and short is because the minute hand is always longer than the hour hand. That way it's easy for us to differentiate between hours and minutes because the hour hand is short and the minute hand is long. Right, we're going to talk a bit about o'clock. When the minute hand is pointing directly on the 12, that means o'clock. So on the 12, it is 0 minutes, but we don't say it is 0 minutes. We say o'clock instead of 0 minutes, okay? So when the long hand is pointing at the 12, that's when we say o'clock, and then it goes all the way around the clock back to 12 again, meaning o'clock. I want you to have a look here. Can you see the hour hand is pointing at the 12? All right, but the minute hand has now moved away from it. For the minute hand, remember I said to you it has to go right around the clock and get back to the 12 so that the hour hand can move. So what it does is it moves one little step every 1 minute until it gets to 60 minutes. So just to kind of give you an idea of what it looks like, see how it just keeps moving around. Now the 12, it stays there. But when it carries on moving, so as the minute hand is moving, the hour hand will move closer to the next number until it reaches right at the end again. So now the 12 has gone, it's gone right around the clock back to the 12, the minute hand. And once it reaches the 12 again, look at how the hour hand has moved to the next hour, because it's taken 1 minute, 1 hour, or 60 minutes to get around the clock. So, what, for an example, once the minute hand, have a look, goes right around the clock back to the 12, it means that 1 hour has passed. So now we're going to look at the time to read it, because remember I told you have to put the minute hands and hour hands together to be able to tell the time. So when the minute hand is pointing at 12 and the hour hand is pointing exactly at one of the hour numbers that are marked on the clock, then we know we're talking about o'clock. So if you look at this one, remember the 12 o'clock, and then you look over here on the hour hand is pointing to the 1. That means it is 1 o'clock. Let's have another try. So let's look at what this clock looks like. Remember, minute hand on the 12 means o'clock. And we look and see, okay, where is my hour hand? My hour hand is sitting on the 5. That must mean it is 5 o'clock. So if you said 5 o'clock, then you were very, very right. Let's give it another bash. So I've got 3 clocks over here. You need to shout out at home and tell me which one you think is 4 o'clock. Right, let's have a look at the first one. We always look at the minute hand. The minute hand is on the 12. The hour hand is pointing at the 9, so that means it's 9 o'clock, which means it's not 4 o'clock. Then the next one, the hour hand is pointing at the 10, the minute hand the 12, so it is 10 o'clock. Right, look at this one. There's it on the 12, the hour on the 4, which must mean it is 4 o'clock. Well done, grade 2. Let's try another one. Now I want you to tell me when it is 10 o'clock. Let's look here. The 12, the minute hand is on the 12, hour hand is on the 4. It's not 10 o'clock. Look at this one over here. Here the minute hand is on the 12, the short hand is on the 3, meaning it's 3 o'clock. So here we go. This one is 10 o'clock. Right, grade 2s. What I want you to do is, first I'm going to show you, these are some YouTube links that you can use at home. They're just little fun songs that also give you a different idea of how to tell the time to o'clock. Then at home, I want you to make something for me. I want you to take 2 paper plates, and first you're going to use the first paper plate and you're going to do the hour markings right around the paper plate. And then you are going to, so can you see? I've done the hour markings all the way around. Then what I've done is I've just cut each little number so that it's flapping like this, all right? And then what I've done is I've stuck it onto another paper plate, and when you lift these up, it shows you what I explained to you, the minutes. So here in the front are your hours, and behind it are your minutes counting by 5s. So you can see there's your 5, sorry, there's your 10, there's your 15. So those give your minutes. Then you're going to make a long hand and a short hand, and you're going to stick the paper plates together, and then you're going to make a hole through the paper plates and put something in like this. Okay, this is called a split pin, and it'll hold it together. And with the split pin, you'll be able to move the hour and the minute hands. Okay, so there we go. I've made 1 o'clock. All right, grade 2, so I want you to make a clock like that, and then you can practice your telling of time at home. You can move the hands of the clock, and you can go to mom and dad and say, oh, what's the time? And you can test them and see if they know what the time is. So give that a try, and you can bring it to school when you come into school to show us what you've done and to show us your beautiful clocks that you've made. You can decorate them how you want to. Just have some fun with it, and then use these YouTube links to go on and see some of the songs and have some fun with it. All right, grade twos, I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson, and I cannot wait to see all of your faces when you come back on the 15th of February. Happy time playing. Bye, guys.